Life doesn't fall apart because God forgets us. Most of the time, the struggle you're facing is actually the very place where God is shaping you. And when you begin to see the purpose in this pressure, you'll stop running from the battle and you'll just start growing through the middle of it. James chapter 1 verses 2 through 4 say it this way: "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces a steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So we see here that the trials of life, they're not punishment from God, but rather they're a preparation for the purpose that He has in your life. For years, I honestly believed that if I prayed harder, obeyed better, or strengthened my faith just a little more, the struggles in my life would finally disappear. But you know, Scripture never promises the absence of struggle. What it does promise, though, is the presence of Christ in the middle of it. James is teaching us here that spiritual maturity doesn't come through comfort. It comes through confrontation. It comes through pressure. Now, not confrontation with people, but confrontation with places inside of us where God is still forming His character. When you face trials, God is probably doing one of three things in your life. He's strengthening what is weak in you. Or maybe He's revealing what is shallow in you. But nonetheless, He's developing what has been underbuilt. And that's not punishment. That is preparation for a calling on your life. Some of you right now are walking through situations that feel absolutely crushing, and you've asked God privately, "Lord, why don't you take this away from me?" But friend, if God took it away too soon, you'd lose the strength He's actually trying to give you through it. Think of the man who asked God for patience. God doesn't hand him patience. He gives him opportunities for patience to grow, opportunities to wait. Think of the person praying for courage. God doesn't just sprinkle that down from the sky, but rather He leads them into situations and moments where courage has to rise up in order to have victory. Spiritual strength is never just dropped on us, but rather it's forged as iron in the fire over time. Now, I want to give you 3 practical steps that you can use this week to walk through your struggle and to grow your purpose this week. First of all, when you pray for eyes, not escape. Instead of saying, "Lord, get me out of this mess," begin praying, "Lord, show me what you're developing in me." Now, that shift in prayer and attitude, it'll change the entire posture of your heart. It'll lead you to growing in purpose. The second thing is to identify the lie that's in your mind. When life gets hard, some of us hear this voice that always says, "I'm all alone, I'm unworthy, I'm failing, or I'm not able to do it." Maybe you're saying, "God doesn't even hear me." Well, my friend, let me tell you something. You can't have victory over the thing that you refuse to acknowledge. So what you need to do is identify that lie in your mind, name it, and then replace it with the truth found in Scripture. Scripture says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Scripture says that you're a soldier and a warrior, that you're an ambassador for Christ. It tells you that you're unique and special and called for purpose. Replace the lie with the truth of Scripture. Meditate upon it. Now, the third thing is to respond this week with one small act of obedience. Now, I'm not talking about a major overhaul here. I'm not asking you to develop a long list of spiritual goals. Just take one small step of faith. Maybe it's as simple as forgiving someone for something that you've been holding on to for a long time. Maybe it's just simply showing up for church more often. Or maybe for you, it's the need to wake up 15 minutes earlier and open the Bible that's been laying on the table unopened for a long time. Maybe it's even just finally letting go of the fear that you've been carrying, the fear of pressing into God, the fear of moving forward, the fear of letting go. But this week, one step might be the one that breaks the cycle in your mind. One step might help you build the spiritual confidence you need. This one simple step can open a doorway to real spiritual freedom for you. Now, friends, if this word encouraged you today, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what trials are you asking God to use for your growth this week? And while you're here, subscribe and join our growing Faith to Freedom community. We're just a community of believers who are just trying to get by, and we're learning to grow through every season with courage, with clarity, and with strength. And that strength, it comes from God above. Now, for those of you who are desiring to grow deeper in your faith, consider our year-long discipleship course, 12 Pillars of Faith. You can find the link in the description and more about it, so come walk with us in this journey next year. Thanks for joining me today. Subscribe, like, and share this video so we can help more believers grow in their faith.